Sir, I'm Sheena Giango from BSED-M 1A. I'm going to discuss the reduction of proposition to logical form. What is proposition? Proposition is a statement that can be either true or false. It must be one or the other, and it cannot be both. Proposition has three essential parts. First is the subject term, or S. It is called first term. Next is the copula. The words are and are not are called copulas because they connect the subject and predicate term. Predicate term is the P or the second or last term. Following rules governing the manner through which a proposition can be reduced to its logical form. First, determine what is the given proposition. This requires us to cautiously determine if the given proposition is A, E, I, or O. A is the universal affirmative, E is the universal negative, I is the particular affirmative, and O is the particular negative. Next is the number 3. Determine the quantity of the subject term. In some chances, it is the subject term is not qualified. If this case, then the supply the quantifier. The words all, some, and no are quantifiers because they determine the quantity of the subject class, or it is not the predicate class. Number 4. Determine the quality of the copula. The quality of copula, or the affirmative or negative, determines the quality of the proposition. Copula of A and I proposition are affirmative, while the copula E and O proposition is negative. Next is the for quantifiers form, the types of categorical proposition. The universal affirmative, or A, is the form all S is P, where S is the subject and P is the predicate. The universal negative, E, is the form no S is P. The particular affirmative, or E, is the form S and P. Particular affirmative, or I. The particular affirmative states that these are members, the subject in the predicate category. The proposition that does not rule out the possibility that are member of the subject are members of the predicate category. Next is the particular negative, or the O. Takes from some is not P. Particular P, the particular negative states that there are no some members of the subject that are not the predicate category. The proposition does not rule out the possibility that no of the subject are members of the predicate category. The proposition is also not a guarantee that some members of the subject are not in the predicate. Next is the hypothetical proposition. Hypothetical is a compound or complex proposition that shows condition dependency, opposition, or similarity between one or more proposition. There are three kinds of hypothetical proposition. First is the connective or conditional hypothetical proposition. Second is the conjunctive hypothetical proposition. And lastly is the disjunctive hypothetical proposition. First is the cognitive or conditional hypothetical proposition. This is a proposition which the consequence depends upon the antecedent, to the effect that only if the antecedent is true can the consequence also be true. If the two are they called connective or the conditional hypothetical proposition. Antecedent or the if clause, while the consequence or the then clause. Example, if it rains, then the ground is wet. If it rains is the antecedent and the consequence is then the ground is wet. Next is the hypothetical proposition or the conjunctive hypothetical proposition. This kind of hypothetical proposition that enunciates the impossibility of two things to occur simultaneously, of two facts to be true at one and at the same time. The components parts of conjunctive hypothetical proposition exclude one another. They cannot be true or false together. This type of proposition usually appears by using the form cannot be at the same times. They are usually in negative form or the EO position form. Example, a student cannot be academically excellent and mediocre at the same time. A academic institution can be a marketplace at the same time. The negative form is the at the same time. Therefore, this may call the conjunctive hypothetical proposition. Lastly is the disjunctive hypothetical proposition. This kind of hypothetical proposition which readily exhausts all possibility, no two or of which can be true or false. Usually, disjunctive hypothetical proposition takes from the form either or in its constructions. Example, it is either dawn or twilight. It is either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. Joseph will go to Manila either by plane, by boat, or by bus. The word either is the negative form. In this, it may be an not possible happened in nowadays. Thank you and God bless, sir.